Assalamualaikum and good day everyone. My name is Nur Ashikin binti Marsuki. My metric number BB221105119. Today I will be present about the relationship between labor productivity and wages in Malaysia palm oil industry, focusing on SIME DARBY plantation. Labor productivity measures how much output is produced by each worker. When productivity increases, businesses can offer better wages, create more jobs, and grow the economy. The palm oil industry is very important to Malaysia economy, contributing about 2.7% to GDP. It is a labor-intensive sector that supports thousands of workers and is a major export for the country. SIME DARBY Plantation is one of the biggest palm oil companies in the world, known for sustainable practice and modern technology use. This study aims to understand how productivity affects wages and how this impacts employment and economic growth in the sector. This study aims to explore three key questions. First, how has labor productivity changed at SIME DARBY over the year? Second, what is the relationship between productivity and wages in the palm oil? And third, how do changes in productivity affect employment pattern and economic development in this sector?
Hi everyone, my name is Olivia Jaikan and my matrix number is BB221103112, and I'll be presenting about the literature review. So firstly, studies like the ILO 2020 and McCullough 2017 shows that productivity has increased globally, but wages, specifically in agriculture, have not kept pace. So in Malaysia, although agriculture productivity has improved due to a better infrastructure and techniques, wage growth has remained slow. Secondly, Anwar and Nasir 2020 argue that wages increase are mostly driven by government policy rather than actual productivity. So the palm oil industry's dependence on foreign labor, over 70% according to the World Bank 2018, is a key factor. So migrant workers often face limited rights and stagnant wages even with rising output.
Hi everyone, my name is Fifi Farhana Kuzaima binti Arshad and my matrix number is BB2211056. And now I'm going to present about the data collection and methodology. Data collection and methodology. In this study, we examine the relationship between labor productivity and wage patterns in Malaysia's palm oil sector, focusing on SIME DARBY plantation. The data for this research was collected from reliable secondary source. The primary data source used was the Department of Statistics Malaysia (DOSM), which provide essential information on labor productivity and average wage in the agriculture sectors. This data allowed us to track how labor productivity and wages have evolved over time. Additionally, we referred to SIME DARBY Plantation's report. This report provides insight into the company's effort to improve productivity through the use of technology, training, and workforce management. They also offered data on wage trend and the makeup of the workforce. We also consult salary articles and reports from international organizations like International Labour Organization (ILO) and the World Bank, which gave us a broader understanding of global trends in productivity and wages, helping us compare Malaysia's situation to international practice. The data we use spans a period of 10 years from 2015 to 2024, covering significant events such as the COVID-19 pandemic and changes in minimum wage policies. For the analysis, we use both qualitative and quantitative method. The quantitative analysis focus on studying trends in labor productivity and wages using trend analysis and index analysis, which help us compare the data year by year. We also calculate the productivity to wage ratio to see if wage increases were in line with productivity growth. The qualitative analysis involved examining the factors behind the gap between productivity and the wage growth, such as the reliance on low-skilled foreign labor and the challenges in adopting technology. Together, this method allowed us to gain a clear understanding of the relationship between productivity and wages in the palm oil industry. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Raferus. My metric number is BB2211024, and today I will be presenting the analysis part and also the factors affecting productivity. So, from the charts shown from 2015 to 2024, Malaysia's palm oil industry faced a growing gap between wage growth and labor productivity. So while productivity fluctuated slightly around 25.2 ringgit per hour and peaked during the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020, it returned to pre-pandemic levels by 2024. So this indicates that there is no long-term improvement. Meanwhile, the wages rose significantly by nearly 80%. So this is mainly due to policy changes like minimum wage hikes, not productivity gains. So this creates a sustainability issue, especially in a labor-intensive industry where profits are sensitive to cost increases, and the lack of productivity growth is linked to over-reliance on low-skilled foreign labor, poor technology adoption among smallholders, and wage systems that don't incentivize efficiency. So if this trend continues, it could threaten the industry's competitiveness and profitability in the long run. Next is for the factors affecting productivity. Palm oil and agriculture, they remain key sectors in Malaysia's economy due to their export value and employment contributions. However, they continue to suffer from a low labor productivity compared to other industries. So this is largely because the sector remains labor intensive. They rely heavily on manual work and low-skilled foreign workers, which limits innovation and per worker output. Now, although some large plantations use agricultural technologies like drones and sensors, adoption is fragmented, meaning that not a lot of people use these technologies, especially those among the smallholders that lack funding and training. Additionally, many workers, they lack the formal education and exposure to modern farming, further limiting the efficiency. Next, the government policies tend to focus more on income support than on boosting productivity, and environmental challenges like flood and droughts further reduces the yields. So strict forest conservation policies also restrict land expansion, meaning that future gains must come from better use of current land and labor, which won't be possible without technology, training, and innovation.
Assalamualaikum Doctor, I am Muhammad Karim Nizam. I'm going to present about policy recommendation in 5.1 about strategy to improve labor productivity in the industry. To boost labor productivity in Malaysian palm oil industry, companies should start using more technology. Tools like harvest machine, drone, and tracking apps can help workers to do their job faster and easier. The government can support small farmers by giving them loans or grants to buy this equipment. Workers also need proper training. Many plantation workers do not know how to use modern tools safely. Companies should work with training center to teach workers how to use machine and follow good farming practice. Skilled workers are more productive, safe, and more efficient. Besides that, companies should manage their workers better. This includes giving clear job rules, setting fair goals, and rewarding good performance. They should also hire more local workers by offering better pay. Safe worker condition and change to grow in their career. In the long run, companies should invest in research to grow palm trees that produce more oil and survive harsh weather. 5.2, it's about implication for wages policy and economic growth. In the palm oil industry, wages have gone up, but worker productivity has stayed in the same. This is a problem for company because they pay more but don't get more worker. A good solution is to pay worker based on how much work they do or the skill they have. Hardworking and skilled workers should earn more. When workers are paid fairly, they feel more motivated. They will also spend more money, which helps small business and improve life in rural areas. This can help reduce poverty and grow the local economy. Malaysia based in productivity also help Malaysia compete with other countries in keeps costs low, push workers to do better and make income more fair. In the fair wages help both worker and the whole country. That's all from me. Thank you.
In conclusion, this study examined the relationship between labor productivity and wages in Malaysia palm oil industry, focusing on SIME DARBY plantation. The findings show that between 2015 and 2024, worker wages have increased, but their productivity has remained the same. This means that even though workers are getting paid, the amount of work they produce has not improved. This wage increase is mainly influenced by government policy, such as the implementation of minimum wage law, rather than improvement in productivity. One of the key challenges is that many plantations still rely heavily on manual labor and depend on low-skilled foreign workers with limited use of modern technology. To address this issue, companies need to focus on increased mechanization, providing better training for workers, and improving management practice. At the same time, it is important that wages are linked to productivity, meaning that workers who produce more or perform better should receive fair reward. If productivity and wages grow together, the palm oil industry can remain sustainable, ensure fair income for workers, and continue contributing positively to Malaysia's economic growth. That's all from us. Thank you.